Hey guys. Okay, so this is a prime rib that we had purchased at Christmas time because we only buy it once a year when it's $4.99 a pound on sale for at Christmas time. But we were all sick around Christmas, so I had to put it in the freezer because we couldn't taste anything, and we were on and off sick for about a month. So I took this out of the freezer 3 days ago. It's been defrosting in the fridge, and now I am going to marinate this, and I'm going to use bay leaf, kosher salt, some thyme, some black pepper, some garlic, and some olive oil. I know a lot of people use rosemary. I don't like rosemary. It's a textural thing, and I don't have any of the ground up rosemary right now, so we're going to go without. So here we go. I'm going to make the marinade. I'm going to do about half a cup of olive oil. You could do butter, but we just use olive oil for everything. Okay, we have about half a cup of olive oil. And now I am going to put in the food processor about 12 cloves of garlic. And I'm going to get them nice and minced. Okay, so I minced the garlic. So I'm just going to put that in there. Okay, and we're going to do about a tablespoon of black pepper. And we're going to do a teaspoon of thyme. And we're going to do 2 tablespoons of salt. And I know that seems like a lot of salt, but it's a big, huge chunk of meat. And you have to remember that when you cut your slice, there's only seasoning on the outside, and there's a lot of meat in that slice. So, okay, 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. And then I am going to add two large bay leaves or 3 or 4 small ones. And I'm going to give this a mix. Okay, now I'm going to take my prime rib. Okay, I'm going to bring this over here. And the butcher put the string on here and this thermometer thing, so that was already done for me. And I am just going to take this marinade and rub it all over the meat. Every side nice and coated. Okay guys, so this is gonna sit in the fridge. I'm gonna cover this with plastic wrap, and it's gonna sit in the fridge overnight marinating. And tomorrow, this is what we are having for dinner. And you can either cook it in a roasting pan. I'm gonna cook it right in this cast iron skillet, just like that. Okay, so I'm gonna get this covered. I'm gonna put it in the fridge, and I will see you tomorrow. Okay, so I just put the prime rib in the oven at 500. It's going to be in there for 15 minutes. Then I'm going to drop the temperature down to 325, and it's going to roast for about 14 minutes. 14 minutes per pound because we like it medium rare. With the prime rib, we are going to have mashed potatoes. So I have 3 sweet potatoes, 2 red skin potatoes, and some Yukon Golds. And as you could tell, they've all been here a while. I want to use them all up. So I'm going to peel all of these potatoes, and I'm going to make a mashed potato. Yes, it's going to be mixed, but it'll be fine. It'll have a pale orange color, just like my countertops. but they're gonna be delicious, and I'm gonna use up what I have. So I'm gonna get peeling on these, put them back here, and the only thing I'm gonna do is cut the sweet potatoes smaller than the other potatoes because these boil faster than the sweet potato. So I'll just cut these into like smaller dice, and I'll cut these in half. And that's it. We'll have yummy mashed potatoes with the prime rib. And I'm also going to serve the prime rib with asparagus. And I know there's people out there that cook the prime rib. There's a million different ways you can cook a prime rib. Some people cook it like I'm cooking it. Some people do what's called a reverse sear, where they cook it low at like 200 for like 6 hours. And then they take it out of the oven, let it rest, and then put it back in the oven at 500 to give it a sear right at the end before serving. I don't have the time to do that, especially during the week. So we're not going to do it like that. But apparently that's how restaurants do it, if I understand correctly. They cook it low for a really long time, and that's how they get it to be so buttery and delicious. But this will be good. This is how we normally make it, and it always comes out good. Okay, so I'm going to get these peeled, and I will see you in 15 minutes to see how it looks, and right before I turn it down to 325. See you in a bit. Okay, so this has been in here for 15 minutes at 500. And now I'm going to drop the temperature down to 325. And this is going to be in there for an hour and 50 minutes. I'm going to transfer this real quick to this roasting pan. Okay, so I'm going to pop this back in the oven. 325. See you in 2 hours. Okay, guys, so we have 6 minutes on the prime rib. We have the potatoes boiling. And I just turned on my cast iron skillet to start cooking the asparagus. Even though there's 6 minutes left on the prime rib, once I take it out, I am gonna let it sit on the counter, tented with a piece of foil, and let it rest for about 20-30 minutes. So by the time that is done resting, the asparagus will be cooked and the mashed potatoes will be done. I have the asparagus here. I'm just gonna put some olive oil, salt, and pepper on them. That's it. Okay, so I'm just gonna drizzle these with a little bit of olive oil. Sprinkle some salt and some black pepper. Okay. Make sure they're all coated evenly. Okay, perfect. I'm just going to throw these in the cast iron skillet and just start cooking them until they're tender. Okay, I'm just going to let them sear a little bit. Not sear, cook. Okay, so I have the asparagus cooking. The potatoes are just about done. Yep, another minute. These are done. I'm going to get the mash going. And there's 30 seconds on the prime rib. I'm going to take that out and tent it over here with some foil. Okay, guys, so I just took this out of the oven. It looks amazing. It has a nice crust on it. I put them, this thing did not pop, but that's fine because I have my own meat thermometer and it registered 128, which is medium, which is how we want it. So that's it. I'm going to put some foil on this and I'm going to let it rest for about 20-30 minutes while I finish getting everything else ready. Okay, so I'm just going to let that rest for about 20 minutes. And that's it. I'm going to get the mashed potatoes and finish cooking the asparagus. And dinner will be served. Be back in a bit. Okay, so I have my I'm calling them tri-colored mashed potatoes because I have Yukon Golds, some red skin, and some sweet potato. Just using up what I have. And I am going to put about 2 tablespoons of butter in the mashed potatoes. That's 1. Move this over. And that is 2. Get it down there in the heat. Okay. And then I am going to add some salt to the mashed potatoes, just like that. Some black pepper. And we're going to do some milk. I have skim milk, that's what we drink, so that's what I'm using. Splash of milk. And that's it. I'm going to start mashing. I'm going to use the hand masher. I'm going old school. I have the asparagus over here. Just moving them around a little bit. Another minute or 2 and these will be done. Okay, back to the potatoes. Okay, let me get the hand masher. My husband, when he makes mashed potatoes, he likes to use the hand mixer to like whip the potatoes. I prefer the old school hand masher. I like my potatoes, my mashed potatoes, I don't know, hand mashed. There's still like a piece of potato here and there. I'm going to put a little bit more milk. A little bit more milk. There we go. So that was probably about half a cup of milk in total. And I'm just going to get in here and mash them really well. Okay, let me give them a taste. See if they are to my liking. Okay. Delicious. Mashed potatoes are done. All right, the asparagus are done. Turning that off. The first thing I want to do is cut off these strings. Comes right off. Just like that. And the last one. Okay. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to turn this guy upside down so I can cut the bone plate off. Oh, it came right off by itself. How perfect is that? All right, so I got the strings off. Okay, flip this back over. There we go. Oh, what a mess. What a mess. Okay, so I have the bone plate off right here. See that? This is the bones. My daughter loves these. And now I'm going to slice the prime rib itself. Okay, so as you can see here, this is medium, which is how my husband and my son like it. Me and my daughter like it well done. So I am going to take some slices and sear them in the pan. But for now, let me serve up for my husband and my son. I'm going to make their plates. And then I'll show you. All right. Looks pretty good. So let me get this plated up. Okay guys, and dinner served. We have the prime rib. I like mine more well done, so I actually just put some slices in a pan and cooked them a little more. But the middle of this is pretty raw, and that's how my family's eating it. But for me, I have 2 slices that are more well done, my tricolor mash, and my asparagus. And that's it. That's dinner. Let me take a bite. Okay, so let me take a bite. That crust on the outside with the garlic and thyme, salt and pepper, super delicious. Look, this is so tender, you barely need a knife. It just pulls apart. Some of the sweet potato. Some asparagus. The asparagus have a crunch to them still. Eat that together. So good. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.